Hi, welcome to You Didn't Get the Memo. We have another fantastic show for you today, and I'm excited that you decided to join us. So thank you so much for tuning in. I want to remind all of you that You Didn't Get the Memo is truly about providing you, the viewer, with relevant, factual, mainstream information to help you be informed and to make informed decisions. I want to remind you that You Didn't Get the Memo. We're airing live on Facebook, YouTube, and on LinkedIn. If you have questions or comment, hey, be sure to place them in the comment section. We'll do our very best to respond to them. My guest today is Miss Delane Sims, who is the owner of Delane's Natural Nail Care, and she's the director of the DNNC Steps to Success. And we're going to talk with her today because women helping women. So all of you ladies, come on, tune in. Let's get locked and loaded here. It's no question that women who support women are more successful. Traditionally, women have been taught to be competitive with one another. And clearly, this is a strategy that doesn't work. The truth is that raising each other up and channeling the power of collaboration is truly how we as women will change the narrative. The need to reverse the stereotype that women don't support other women, this is critical. Research actually has shown that women benefit from collaboration over competition. Additionally, studies show that women who support women are far more successful in business. And that's why I'm excited to talk to my guests today. So why is supporting women so critical? Because women who are trying to rise up into leadership, they face all kind of various cultural and systemic hurdles that make it harder for them to advance. And we all know and we've heard about unconscious bias, and that's just the least of it. So I'm excited to talk to my guest today because, in my opinion, she is what I feel. She has introduced into mainstream society a form of what I call the New Girls Club. She's about amplifying and lifting other women up. And so I want to welcome to the show today, Miss Delane Sims. Delane, thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, hello, and thank you, Gloria, for having me. You are not just talking the talk, but you're walking the walk. Having this show and featuring myself and others is about empowerment and lifting us up. And I just want to thank you for that.
Oh, you're so very, very welcome. I feel, and I think we share that kindred spirit, the importance of being able to work with and help women and not worry about, if somebody's going to get something a little bit more than us, because the gift is in the giving. It really,
Yes,
it really is.
Yes,
So I'm excited to be able to talk with you, as busy as you are. So again, welcome and thank you. I'm going to start out by just asking you to just tell the viewers about your backstory, because I was so intrigued and I found it so interesting. And there are other women out there that are listening to your story, and I know that they're going to be encouraged to say, if she did it, I know I can do it. So tell us a little bit about Miss Delane Sims. What's your backstory?
Well, thank you for asking me this question because I'm kind of an open book. And I say that because I do like to share sort of where I came from, some of the challenges that I've had in my life with the intent of inspiring and encouraging others. So starting off, I'm born and raised in Oakland, still in Oakland. And at 14 years old, I was a teen mom. Certainly didn't plan on that, but it happened. And then I found myself some years later, divorced with 4 children, with my then husband succumbing to the crack cocaine epidemic. And that was really a very daunting, very challenging time. We were actually in the process, he had been in the military. We're in the process of looking for a home and taking advantage of his VA benefits and, sort of moving into that middle class. And really overnight, I found myself just kind of thrown into poverty, literally overnight. My husband literally did not come home one day after being in a program where he had friends there who introduced him to the crack cocaine, and I was left with these children to take care of and to spend for myself. Didn't have a large family, community of folk to gather around and help me, so I had to figure it out. And it was probably one of the most daunting times of my life. There was the times of homelessness. There was times when things were really tough. Fortunately, the homelessness was just a short blink, but I was able to, dust myself off, get back up with the grace of God, and to go forward and to work like temporary jobs. I worked for a company back in the day called, it was still called Kelly Temporary Agency. Worked there because I could. It was flexible, and I could fit that in better with my schedule around my children. It was essential for me to be able to pop up and go to my kids' school. As most mothers know that have sons, Black mothers, with our Black sons, we know that they require some special handling and special care. I mean, the world saw what happened with George Floyd, but we've known all along that we really have to be very vigilant when it comes to our sons. So I would go to all the PTA meetings, pop up, at school, be there for the sports games and all those kinds of things. But really, being vigilant as a parent was paramount to me. And then I went on to start a business that enabled me to continue to keep my center and my family center.
Yeah. What's interesting, Delane, thank you for that, is here in the background. And like I said, a lot of times people don't want to talk about where they've been, right?
Yeah.
But it is actually the building blocks of where you're going. And without a test, you really and truly don't have a testimony. And I know a lot of people see this and they think, oh, I don't want to hear about it. But I'm going to tell you, you're going to miss the best part of this, because this guest is going to tell you, first of all, how she even started. And that's my question. Tell the viewers about how Delane's natural nail care got started, how long you've been around, because there was something that got you into this, and a
Yeah.
lot of people don't recognize that. So tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, certainly the impetus again was just family and being able to start actually in my home, where I could keep the overhead low and again be able to keep my finger on the pulse of everything happening with my children. But in terms of just what led me to the business of nail care is really interesting, because if someone would have said, "Oh, you're gonna do nails one day, and you're gonna actually specialize in taking care of feet, and you're gonna love it," if they would have told me that back then, I'd have said, "No, that's not true. I'm not gonna do that. Why?" But I actually used to enjoy getting my nails done. And I would go to different places to get my nails done. And I was not happy back then with the things that I experienced. I didn't feel that I was getting the respect of a consumer just coming in to get the service. I was having difficulty just communicating my thoughts and my wishes and concerns. Also, one of the biggest things was that things weren't clean and sanitary, and I was going to these services to kind of have a respite. Again, I have 4 children. I wanted to go somewhere where I could just kind of relax and enjoy the service. And I couldn't relax as long as there's just a lot of talking, and things weren't really clean. As a matter of fact, to kind of highlight this experience of things not being clean, and just I'm referring of course to the places that I was trying to get services from. um, I went into a place, and the lady told me to just sit down and get ready for my manicure, and it was a table with a paper towel on it, and it had fingernail clippings and blood droplets on this paper towel. And I was just appalled. And then she told me, she said, "Yeah, sit right there." And I said, I can't do that. And she then turned the paper towel over as though that was cleaning up. At that point, I literally walked out, went to the payphone to show you how long ago that was, and I said, let me see if I can find a beauty school where I can learn how to do this. Because if it's this difficult, and I mean, this took years, if it's this difficult for me to find just a decent manicure or pedicure, I want to at least see if it's something I can offer my community. And I did find a place, and I started. As a matter of fact, I not only started in school, but I started working with podiatrists because I wanted to ask them more about the care of the feet, and that was really important to me because I didn't want to just provide just the services where of course we do the polishing and that kind of thing, but I really wanted to know more about the care of the feet.
Mhm.
So that's kind of what got me going.
Yeah. And to this day, in a lot of places, you go to a lot of these salons, and I'm thinking, aren't they supposed to be regulated? And I just find that people just show up and you want to know why you get a fungus under your nail or what's happening, and all you got to do is just look around. Even the whole piece around not cleaning the tubs that they're doing, washing your feet in, and this is critical, and this is why I just really felt like that something that we need to talk about. And
Yeah,
I can say firsthand that I did visit your salon, and it was everything that you've talked about. And I found myself nodding out because it was so serene and peaceful in there. So, what you're speaking of is, I think, what every woman who wants to get a manicure and a pedicure, they need to do. I didn't hear any screaming kids. I didn't hear people talking on their cell phones.
yeah,
I did not hear, the chatter from just even, the different people who were working there. And
mhm,
that is exactly what, like you said, just a respite, just to be able to just relax. And
yeah,
I think that you really and truly hit on something. Uh, just talking about that. And then just the fact that people would think that you would be okay. And this is what I want to say to all you sisters out there. You're going into these places, and not only do they have, you saying paper towel, now they got a towel with the clippings on them and stuff. Y'all need to look, get woke, and pay attention to what is going on and
yeah.
who's doing what to you. That's
That's right.
really important.
It's so important.
Yeah.
It's so important. I happen to not just, I took a really in-depth interest in the cleanliness of salons. And the reason why was because as soon as I started school, they started talking about how important it is to be licensed and why we're licensed, because it's about protecting people.
Yes.
And and then I found that you can contract diseases
Mm,
fungus from nail salons. So a lot of times we go to these places to relax and to get a service, but we have to make sure that the place is doing the right thing. And so one of the things that I did is I became an expert consultant with the to the state of California. I attended many board meetings, and I really wanted to just drill down and understand more about the safety and the lack thereof. And we know currently, because of COVID, there's a lot of shortages in all areas of the workforce, but there has been consistently a shortage of those who go out and inspect the nail salons. And as a result, they just can't get to all of the salons in a timely fashion. When I say timely fashion, sometimes you can be in business for 5, 10 years before anyone darkens your doorway.
oh,
So that,
yeah,
yeah, it's scary.
it really
The
is.
other reason why I wanted to take an interest in the care the health of the feet especially is because African Americans suffer from diabetes,
Yes.
disproportionate number than to others. So there's just it's just certain things that we should do and should avoid, and that's why I chose to work with podiatrists because I want to make sure that we do all that we can to keep everyone safe and to make sure their feet is healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to say to all of you guys, we've got a number of Texas people in the house. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. Look, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking with my guest, Miss Delane Sims, about the type of services that's performed at her salon, but also how her staff has dealt with COVID-19. So you guys don't go anywhere. And if you have questions, please be sure and place them in the comment section. We'll be right back.
Because of you, I feel not alone in this world. And you let me know that it only takes one person to make you feel wanted.
Stand is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to load their minds. Dare to explore. Dare to STEM. Learn more at She Can STEM.
All right, if you guys are just tuning in, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I am talking with my guest today, Miss Delane Sims, who is the owner of Delane's Natural Nail Care. And we're going to be talking about a nonprofit that she has also started to help women in the community. And that's the whole impetus of us talking about it. But I wanted to level up and level set what it is that she does that's going to lead us into talking about how she's helping women of color and to get a leg up and how she supports women in the community. Before we went to break, the question that I posed to Ms. Delane was, let's talk about the type of services that are performed at your salon, and at the same time, how your staff has dealt with the COVID-19 virus.
Yes. Well, the services that we offer manicures, pedicures. We offer gel services now. For many years, we did not. But it was important. And the reason why was because it was important for me to be able to offer that service and know that the nails would be healthy and strong while getting that service. And if the service for gel nails, if it's not applied appropriately, correctly, a person can end up having damage to the nails. So we actually have a gel nail expert now who is exceptional, and she does provide gel nail services. We also have ways to strengthen the nails from the inside out. So again, it's about the health of the nails. We also provide really transformative, and I think you may have some pictures of some of the types of transformative foot care that we provide. And we often do this under the direction of a podiatrist because we find that sometimes our clients have ingrown toenails, so that's what we do under the direction of a podiatrist. Also, we find that people feel a bit embarrassed or shamed that their nails don't look quote unquote normal. So we have a Carry Flex service where that picture there that you see with the purple polish, that's one of the Carry Flex services. So we can actually reconstruct a nail onto the big toe or any of the toenails, so that and that lasts quite a while, so that a person can just feel better about their nails, especially if they've been ravaged by fungus that has gone on for a long time. And then again, working with our doctors, we're able to help our clients with fungus, with treating it so that it arrests the fungus. It does not get any worse, and the nails don't, continue to get thick and turn color. And so we just, again, our focus is on the care and health of the feet. And we provide regular manicure and pedicure services, but this is really our niche. And we have people, and thank you for the showing the pictures there. We have we have people who fly in from other states and other parts of California to get these services from us. I mentioned earlier that a large number of people of color suffer with diabetes. And so we want to just make sure that they're getting a healthy service. And that's when we work with our podiatrists. You should not go to a regular nail salon if you have diabetes. We have seen this leading to sores that are hard to heal, and those sores can lead to amputation of the toes, the foot, and even the leg. And we've actually seen where people have had to be hospitalized and had even worse challenges as a result of going to a regular nail salon to get a pedicure. So it's so important that we think about, the cultural implications when we go in, that people are culturally competent, they understand what's going on with our health, and that they're not doing anything to make it worse.
Right. And if I may say, Delane, I think one of the things that also that we have to get past is, the cheapest way isn't always the best way. And I'm not, and by no mean am I intimating you guys that Delane's Nail Salon right in line in terms of pricing, cost, time spent, all of that. But a lot of times I see a lot of our young women, I should say, especially young women of color, and they're in these salons, and it's just, you can just look at it and tell the floor is nasty, the bins, the tables that you're sitting at, and like you, I have gone into some of those and just say, I can't do this. It just
Right.
doesn't work. And I love the fact that you're bringing up and talking about one of the most critical things that you can do. A lot of times people don't know or are aware that they're diabetic, or they may think, oh, it's borderline, I'm not getting insulin. But one of the things that physicians, clinicians, period, will tell you, you have to be very careful about toenail clippings. Who's doing the clipping? Are they certified to be able to do that? And that's basically what I hear you say. When you don't know, you have to, that old saying, buyers beware of what you're getting into. And the transformation of the person who, that men and went, listen, y'all go get your food done. I'm just saying, look, it's really important. Good foot care, that is vital. Your
It
feet are
is.
what you have. So you want to definitely do that. And you can see I've been putting up the contact information for you to call Delane's Nail Care and get an appointment in there.
Yeah.
But let me transition also. I'd ask you, in asking you about the services that you provide, your business provides. How have you guys dealt with the COVID-19 virus? Because
Yeah.
that's something that people worry about. Can I go and still feel safe if
Right.
I'm getting a service there?
Yeah. That's an excellent question. One of the things that was sort of an unintended niche that we practice is that we have private rooms. And we've had private rooms from the very beginning. When I started in my home, I saw one person in a big room, and I wanted to carry that on when I moved from my home. And so we're in a space where we have several rooms, and we see one person, unless they're with one other person from their household, we can see them. But even then, there's a nice spacing between everyone that's in the room. With COVID, we certainly had to implement, and I'll back up and say prior to COVID, we were always doing what the state requires and more. And it's really a shame that just doing exactly what the state requires was a niche, but to go beyond that, everyone knew us for our cleanliness and our sanitation, and just cleaning your implements properly. We go a step above the norm in that we not only have the regular, people see the blue water, the quats, the quaternary ammonium compound that we soak our implements in, but we also have an autoclave, and so we just go sort of above and beyond. But it's so important to make sure that people are implementing those COVID safeguards. So the sneeze shields, we certainly implemented those right away when getting a manicure service, so that that guard is there. We also, wipe down handles, and even the toilet handles. I mean, we really leave nothing, nothing to chance, because I saw a documentary years ago where 2020 actually did an expose, and they went in and they checked the tools. They swabbed them, and under a microscope, they could see that there was fecal matter on some of those implements. That meant people were not keeping their hands clean, and they were using these implements and then using them on their clients. And you can transfer things, especially if you cut someone. But we have also other tools that we use that are disposable. We've always thrown away the files that we use, all the tools we use on the feet that are porous, buffers. All those things should be thrown away. No one should be using them one after the other, on one person after the other. So during COVID, we stepped that up to become COVID compliant. Certainly, we have the hand sanitizer. We take temperatures. We wear masks. And we even test for COVID our staff twice a week. We are doing our part, but I can say that we were doing these things long before COVID, and it has served us well, because our clients, they appreciate that, and they send their family and their friends. And one of the biggest compliments to us is when someone says, "I got to bring my mom here," and that's the cat's meow for me.
Well, we have a comment from one of our viewers that says Delane's Nail Salon is one of my places for investing in my hashtag self-care. I love it. And I think that is awesome.
Thank you.
You know what? I'm on that bandwagon as
Wow.
an excellent experience there. But let me transition and let's talk about, I open and talk about, to me, you have become mainstream with the New Girls Club, right?
Right.
And because you're about amplifying and lifting women up. So as the founder of the DNNC, and we're going to tell people what that stands for, Steps to Success.
Mhm.
Tell the viewers about what this program is. But first, let's start with just the acronym DNNC. Tell them that.
Well, DNNC is Delane's Natural Nail Care, and I named the salon really something simple. I thought at the time it wasn't facetious. I just wanted to make sure that it was a name that wasn't taken. So it's really Delane's Natural Nail Care's philanthropic arm, and it's called Steps to Success. And what we do is essentially assist women in this trade to obtain a manicure license. We have scholarships that we provide to women. We primarily focus on single mothers, African American women as our primary focus, although we help all women, but that is our primary focus because of the great disparities that exist amongst African American mothers, especially single mothers, while helping women to obtain their license and to get into this trade. We provide them with workshops and tutelage in areas such as financial literacy, parenting classes, healthcare classes, just whatever it takes to help them to change the trajectory of their lives and that of their children. So that's really near and dear to my heart because, again, I was a teen mom and I didn't have a community of support, a whole village of support to help me. And this enables these women to have the support that they need so that they can move successfully through life. We have women who are just doing phenomenal things with their lives now, who would not have been able to accomplish the things they've accomplished without the program. At least that's what they told us, and that makes us proud.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the thing is that each one reach one, teach one, and that's one of the things. And I want to say kudos to you for recognizing that there was such a need. And for any woman that is watching the show right now, and you're trying to figure out what can you do with your life, look, just start here. One of the things that I love is hearing the story with some of the, your staff as it relates to why they do this, and being able to feel like that they own their business. They own, a lot of times people aren't all set up to get up and do an 8 to 5 or a 9 to 5 kind of thing, but to be able to set their own hours and to be able to do something that they love. That's the other thing, and make money at it. That right there in itself. And I was just really intrigued that you would start an organization that would help women to be able to help themselves.
Yes. Well, I would say to God be the glory, because, the journey, it's been so amazing. As I said earlier, I never thought in a million years that I would be providing foot care. But then this foot care led to creating this organization. And I know that it's just by divine appointment, because I literally have this, this opportunity to sort of use my life, all the challenges and the pitfalls of my life, to then sort of repackage that to be a gift to others. And I really couldn't do this, and I would be remiss if I didn't say this, but I couldn't do this without, and you mentioned this earlier, the support of my community, the support of all the sisters that come out and make a conscious decision to drive miles sometimes to come and see me. And also my business partner, Maisha Jefferson, I'm telling you, she has been nothing but a godsend. So talking about women helping women, I mean, we got to a point in the business where, I was able to hold the reins okay for a while. But again, I sort of created an unintended niche, having a private room, having, a relaxing environment, a clean and safe environment. And then, being able to provide services at home. We actually go and see some of our elders in their homes. And so it just got to a point where I said, okay, now that my children are out of school and I don't have to just use this as more of a means to an end to just take care of my family, to put food on the table. But it got to a point where I said, wow, people really appreciate the service. And I think they feel my heartfelt effort, because everything I do is from my heart. But it got to a point where the demand for service just became so great that I needed help. So I literally prayed. I was like, God, who's out there who, share the same ethics and can work hard, and we can be sort of back to back in this. And then he sent this angel named Maisha Jefferson. And it's going on about 10 years now. And I can say that I call her my business wife because it's been like 10 years and we've just gotten better. And I call her my business wife because I've been married now 25 years and my husband and I still in love. Things just got better. So I'm just grateful. I'm just so grateful for this journey, this path that God placed me on, and how it has opened so many doors to allow me to be used to help others.
Oh, that's awesome. I could listen to you go on and on, but we are going to have to take a quick break. And when we come back, one of the things is, although you've talked about a lot of things, but I want to know what your secret sauce is. What is it that sets your organization apart from others in the community? So you guys, thank you so much for your comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. I'm here with my guest, Miss Delane Sims. Guys, hang tight.
Testing. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy.
Home fire drills give your family a plan of action. Show everyone 2 ways out of the house, pick a safe meeting spot, and get there in under 2 minutes. Then practice, so everyone knows exactly what to do. Go to ready.gov/fire drill and learn how to prepare your family.
let's get back to talking smack with a side of mac and cheese.
Before we can safely come together, we need the facts on COVID-19 vaccines.
To get the facts, visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you.
All right, if you guys are just tuning in, you've missed a great part of the show already, but I want to remind you that it stays up on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, and you can go back and watch the show. I am here with Miss Delane Sims, who is the owner of Delane's Natural Nail Care, and she is just sharing all of this knowledge. And to me, she's my new gal pal, because guess what? She is leveling up, women, sisters in the community. Before we went to break, the question that I posed to Delane was, I know she's kind of shared things that they're doing, but I want to know, and for her to share, if you can, what her secret sauce is that sets her organization apart from others that are within the community. And in this case, we're talking about the DNC steps to success, where you're helping women. What's the real secret sauce to that?
Well, what I would say first and foremost, for me, it's prayer. It's more of a ministry than it is just an organization that I just said, okay, I want to start, in general. I did mention that it is predicated on my life, but I think the real secret sauce is that everyone has something inside of them that motivates them, that moves them in a certain direction based on their life experiences. And for me, the secret sauce really is that this is sort of my unique journey, my unique story that I get to play out loud in the sense that I get to help women in a way that I wish someone would have been able to help me. When I was 14, 15, 16 years old, I was accepted to Mills College on a full scholarship when I was a teenager. And I didn't know what to do with it. I just thought, I guess I can't go because I have a child. But then, I hear stories like Barbara Lee. Her story is totally different in that, and actually she was one of the recipients of one of our awards one year. We have an annual gala, and she was one of our recipients. And one of the differences with her was that she was also a teen mom. She also attended Mills College, but she had support. She had a community of support, someone to help her with the baby, and all of those things make a difference. So to be able to pay it forward, to be able to help a single mom, we've helped with so many aspects of their lives. I remember speaking to a young lady one evening, and she was just really kind of upset. She was fussing at the children, was kind of boiling over to the kids and telling them to shut up and sit down and be quiet and this and that. And I listened to her concerns at that time. I didn't address that issue then, but later I talked to her about the importance of her kids going to bed at a certain time at night, having a meal at a certain time, getting their bath to help calm them. And she said, well, I would sit down and eat, but I don't have a table. And I said, wow, okay, we can fix that. So we made sure that she had a table, and I introduced her to my friend Crockpot, who was really my ride or die back in the day. And so she was able to go on and implement certain things so that she could have some peace, so that by the time her kids went to bed, she had some hours after that to just decompress herself. And so months later, she told me one of the best times of her day is when she gets to sit down and have a meal with her family. And it seems like a small thing, but that's something that could change the dynamics of an entire family and start a tradition that can really impact them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. And I want to say to those women, those single parents, and even those who are married and you have, both parents in the household, one of the things is it's about making that concerted effort. The the thing is, it's about really and truly what's important. Kids don't ask to come here, but at the same time, we do have a responsibility. And all the things that you're saying, and even talking with Barbara Lee, I had an opportunity to interview her. It's probably been about 3 or 4 years ago, and we found that we also had things in common when we were both divorced, single parents, and just trying to just deal with raising your kids. But something that you speak of that I've never deviated from, and something to this day, even with our kids grown, my husband and I still do, is we sit down and we have dinner together. That is that time. And it's just about making time. And there's so many other distractions in the world, but you have to decide what's important. Don't you want to know what's happening and going on with your child? But you just said something earlier that one of the viewers commented on, is the fact that you said a ministry. And I love that. And that is the difference. That's part of your secret sauce. When you recognize that it's a ministry, because a lot of times people will look and at disdain with the woman who's struggling with 2 or 3 kids, but when you don't know their story, you don't know where they've been.
That's right.
You can't tell them how to tie their shoelaces. You haven't walked in their shoes. And that is something I think that is really vitally important. You also said that in your program, you teach them about things like financial literacy, but also how to become an entrepreneur. And I just kind of I'm not asking you to spill everything, but to wrap my arms around, in these classes, are these particular classes that they go through around financial literacy, around developing, something, I was social skills, so needed, right? And a lot of people don't understand that. And are those classes that's part of your curriculum?
Oh,
you're going through that?
Absolutely. We have etiquette classes. We have partners, first and foremost, partners that say, hey, I'm here and available to help with teaching those classes. And I'm just, again, so grateful. I'm kind of going back to the very beginning when you said that we need support and we need to support each other. So I'm so grateful for all the sisters who step up and say, I can teach a Pilates class, or I can teach a health and wellness class, just a variety of different classes. So just to give you a little more context about our program, we help all women, single moms and African-American single moms are our focus. But the niche for us is that we work within our industry. Within the nail care industry. So we sort of start there with, okay, do you want to do nails? Some didn't even know that this is something they were really want to do until they got into it. And they were like, oh, I really like this. But we sort of start there. However, we started there, but we don't stop there. And we want to find out, like, what is it that you really want or that you really need? If this is it, we'll help you develop this career. If it isn't, then we will point you in the right direction with our many partners. We've just actually, my business partner has just partnered with Visa, and they have tons of opportunities, everything from scholarships to go back to school. We've helped some of our women go back and get their degree, and to see them go back and get a degree when they started off with the nails and thinking that, wow, I've never even obtained my high school diploma. And I was sharing this, I share this story all the time. One of the ladies in our program, when we were trying to encourage her to go to college, she said, oh, I can't do that. I didn't go to high school. I didn't graduate from high school. And I said, well, guess what? I didn't graduate from high school either. And she said, what? Really? But you graduated from honors from Berkeley. I said, yeah, I did. But I went to community college. And when I went to community college, I graduated there with honors. I actually missed graduating by about a month. Again, I was a teen mom. And I did the best I could to get through, but I didn't quite make it. I went back, got my degree from my AA degree from Berkeley City College. And from there, I went to UC Berkeley. So my story is like a living embodiment of what's possible. But I was so happy to share that with this young lady. And she was so thrilled. She said, wow, I did not know that. She went on and got her degree. So
Well, kudos to her and to you for sharing that and encouraging that. Let me ask you this, Delane. What attributes do you look for in a woman desiring to enter the DNC Steps to Success program?
well, it all starts with one's desire to want to make that change. We have all heard about, you can lead a horse to water, but really it's about a person wanting, starting with that, wanting to make a difference in their lives. And once they show up, and wanting means that you follow it up with action, right? So you don't just say, well, I want to do this, and then don't show up on time to the programs or don't attend the classes. So we have like a 30-day period where we say, okay, these are the markers, these are the things that we want you to be able to accomplish, and we make sure that it's, we've agreed upon those things, and then we look for you to do those things, to fulfill those, to hit those marks. So that's just really important, the follow through, because if you take a step, we will take that step with you, because what do we hear? God bless the child, that not only has their own, but that you can help someone that helps themselves. We're
Mhm.
not, we're not trying to drag someone along. We want to be able to get behind them and help be that wind beneath their wings, so they can take flight and go as far as they want to go, and have the confidence in knowing that if I can do it, if the next person, when they share their story and you see what they've been through, if they can do it, then you can do it too.
Yeah, absolutely. So, let me just ask you this. You mentioned earlier, I think, that you do offer grants for potential attendees.
Yes.
And is there a particular type of criteria that they need to fulfill in order to receive the grant money?
Yes. Well, what they could do is, and I think you have our website, but they can go to our website and they can fill out the information, to apply to our program. And then we will lay everything out for them in terms of everything that's required. Again, we do have a good 30 days where we want, to see that person show up. And then there are certain other things that we have in place. So we start basically a mentorship and an internship program with them prior to starting school. So it's really important that they get through the mentorship and the internship process. And once they get through that process, and that's just basically, again, showing up and moving forward in the program, then we will then see what they qualify for. Sometimes there's a full scholarship, sometimes it's a partial scholarship. But it just really depends on the person's circumstance, and every situation is really tailored to each person's, their station is in life, where they live. There's just so many different components.
Mhm. Yeah. So when we come back, Delane, I'm going to ask you to talk about what are your goals let's just say for the next couple of years, and what barriers stand in your way. And then the last thing is, what do you want viewers to take away from watching today's show? But you guys don't go anywhere if you have questions. And thank you guys for saying, lifting up and supporting my guest. And we will be right back.
Thank you for watching the You Didn't Get the Memo show with your inspirational host, Gloria Bailey Ray. It's your contributions that make this happen. To become a sponsor, send an email to youdidn'tgetthememo@gmail. That's the letter U, didn't get the memo. If you're not in a space to be a sponsor, but you like what you hear, we simply ask that you support what you like by making a contribution to the show. There are 3 ways to make an online donation. Visit paypal.me/Gloria Bailey Ray or Cash App or Venmo, Gloria Bailey Ray. Give what you can. Your support is appreciated.
All right, if you guys are just tuning in, I'm going to ask that you guys go back and listen to the entire airing of this show with my awesome guest, Miss Delane Sims, who is the owner of Delane's Natural Nail Care and also the director of the DNNC Steps to Success program, which helps women, breaking the cycle really of generational poverty and also giving them the tools to become a viable part of society. So that is just something that I think that we all can get behind. Before we took a quick break, one of the things that I did ask Delane was, what are her goals for the next 2 or 3 years or so, and what barriers do she see that seems to stand in her way?
Well, our goal is to continue to grow. And the way that we grow is certainly every person that comes through the door that supports our business, Delane's Natural Nail Care, a portion of those proceeds go to Steps to Success. So every person that walks through our door helps us. So we certainly want to be able to see more people, especially for our specialized services. We also want to be able to hire more people. So we have those who are in school, but we also want to hire more people to work in the salon. The demand has been growing. Has grown every year except during COVID. And even then, we found ourselves working with podiatrists, and we could not keep up with demand at some points during COVID. So we really look forward to growing both our business and our nonprofit. We want to be able to help more women, more Black women get into this field. My vision one day is to be able to see a plethora of Black-owned nail salons throughout really the U.S. So the more we can train, the more we can get prepared to sort of, be able to own those spaces in their community. So really looking forward to that, and that's really the biggest thing that we're looking forward to over these next 2 or 3 years. We're growing, and we want to keep growing.
All right, awesome, awesome. And do you foresee any barriers at this particular point? I know that the state is opening back up in the country in itself.
Yeah.
So do you anticipate any barriers that will stand in your way?
Well, I'm going to have to say, as a woman of faith,
All right.
there really are no barriers that are too big for my God. And every time I, in my human self, think that something is a barrier, God shows me, nope, not for him. So I will say that, anytime I've seen, even with COVID, I thought, oh my goodness, this is, we had to shut down for a while. We even worked outside for a while. Like, we've done so many things that I thought was, going to result in a setback, but it was really a setup for a great comeback. And what I mean by that is that it allowed us to have time to more properly train our staff, to shore up some things that we had very little time for before because we were just working day after day. And now we have been able to hire people to help us from the admin part of our business, so that we just have that stronger foundation. And that's the one thing that we really encourage our participants in our program. A lot of people have an idea or thought about what they want to do, to not just jump in, but to really do their homework, do their due diligence, and make sure that they start off on a really solid foundation. So we've had a time now during COVID to really shore up our foundation, and we are looking forward to exponential growth. And I can tell, based on the love and the support that we're already getting, and the way the word is just really continuing to spread about us. And I'm just thankful to God for it all.
Oh, awesome. What do you want people to take away who are watching today's show?
Well, on a personal note, I would say to just know that it's important to believe in yourself, and to ask questions and ask support from those who who are doing what you want to do. I would say even beyond asking, you can ask to volunteer and be a part in that way. Some professionals, such as myself, we're really, really busy, but when people come and volunteer, we really have that one-on-one time with them. I do invite everyone to support us. We accept donations through our nonprofit, and this is the holiday season that we're right upon. So one of my clients said that one of the greatest gifts they received for their Christmas one year was to get a pedicure from our salon. So we welcome you to come in and get your gift certificates and to continue to support our salon, because we're here to continue to support our community, and you can help us to do that. So I just really appreciate this opportunity to make this appeal, and I'm grateful for this platform and for Gloria being able to bring me and others to the community to show what's out there, what's possible, and what they can take advantage of right now.
Well, thank you. It has been my honor and such a pleasure to have you on the show. I don't want you to go anywhere, so you stay right there. I'll be right back with you. What I do want to say to each of you that are tuned in and watching the show, first of all, I thank you for tuning in, for setting that alarm clock and putting it on your schedule. I definitely want to thank my guest, Miss Delane Sims, for being on the show. Listen, a gentle reminder is to ask all of you to remember to support our efforts by inquiring about our sponsorship packages, or if you're not in the space, to make a donation, and we'd love for you to become a supporter. But remember that there is a blessing in the giving. I also want to ask each and every one of you, hey, if you haven't clicked that button to like and to follow me, please be sure and do that. It's definitely so appreciated, and it is so needed. Be sure and follow me on all my social media platforms and mark your calendars for every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, for always a great show. Now, I want to give you a heads up. This coming Saturday, October 30th, yes, October 30th, the day before Halloween, we are going to have a very special and a very important show with a well-known pediatrician who's going to be discussing several critical health crisis regarding our children. So you want some information about, should I vax my kids? Should I not? But also there's a mental health crisis that is taking place and is happening here. And I just want to remind all of you guys to tune in this coming Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Central, and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to a special edition of You Didn't Get the Memo. And we're going to get some answers for you. And I hope that you will share that information. I want to remind you guys, if you're in need of some midweek inspiration, be sure and tune in to my podcast, Real Talk with Lady G, every Thursday from 6 to 6:30 p.m. on Spreaker. And that's Spreaker, Spreaker.com. I want to give a quick shout out again to all of my viewers, my donors, my sponsors, and I want to thank all of you guys for your support. As I always say, if you didn't take anything away from today's show, then it's you who didn't get the memo. Until this time next week, I want you to have a fantastic rest of the week. Give thanks for all of your blessings. Stay safe, and always remember to pay it forward. After all, remember this: the quality of your life is determined by the decisions that you make. I'm your host, Gloria Bailey Ray. Be well, be blessed. Until Saturday, October 30th. Take care.